Is Adidas suffering perhaps from an identity crisis? This was a question that I put to Wes Harris. He's the managing editor of the website Business of Football.
They were started off in the company's history, really dominating the soccer market. And then in the last 10 or 15 years, as Nike has really started to push them and other brands as well in the soccer space, they've tried to, reestablish themselves by expanding into other sports, and kind of at the moment are at a crossroads almost. And, they're starting to struggle in some of those expansion businesses, if you will. And with the new CEO, they're starting to do a bit of refocusing and reinvesting in different things and looking at their strategies really hard, it seems.
Do you think the problem for Adidas is maybe the United States? We've seen Adidas lose the NBA jersey deal, talking about selling off its golfing business. Does it seem like a company that might be retreating from the US a little bit? And if so, is that a real problem?
It certainly would appear that way, right? When you see those things, you can't help but ask yourself that question. I would say, just after reading remarks from top executives and looking at the different investments that they have across their portfolio in the United States, I might rephrase that to not necessarily retreating, but refocusing their energies within the United States and trying to look at, okay, are we really investing in the right places with the right sports, with the right deals? So the NBA deal, they opted out. That was an Adidas decision. I don't think it was going well for the NBA and then also for Adidas. They just weren't seeing the kind of ROI, return on investment there from their investment dollars. And so they said, let's repurpose that. So they opted out, and they did, comment that they were going to, try to offset those sales declines that they would see from not participating in that sponsorship of the NBA jersey deals with a broadened, high-profile athlete portfolio, as well as refocusing their energies in youth basketball to try to get the young kids growing up to have a positive association with their brand for many years to come in that sport.
That seems strange, really. A lot of people, perhaps outside the United States, would look at Adidas and think, well, for the NBA, for example, they've got all the teams there. It's not like in European football where different sports companies supply the shirts for different teams. Adidas had the whole of the NBA, and you're saying they think it might be better to focus on individual players rather than the whole brand.
Yeah, and that's just something that they might look at. The total league deals are actually quite expensive, and if they're not seeing the kind of ROI dollars coming back in from those jersey sales and other merchandise from the clubs or teams, if you will, around the league, then they might say, we're seeing better ROI, better, marketing strategies and marketing success in working with our athletes. And maybe that's the area that we need to focus on.
Why do you think Nike have been better? We look at a company like Nike, and it's a sort of classic business school textbook case now of a company that wasn't really in football, sponsored the Brazilian team back in the late 1990s, and has now got a real identity with football. And Adidas doesn't seem to have been able to diversify in the same way that Nike has. What are the differences for you?
The differences for me, honestly, is Nike's very bold in their marketing strategies. There are a lot of ambush marketing, a lot of content and social media. They've really done that, I think. Many would agree, a little bit better than Adidas has. So you've really start to see, especially in the last 5 years, a real surgence from Nike on a global scale. Obviously, they're based in the United States and have a lot of dominance in the sports market there, but really starting to, kind of hit Adidas where it hurts in their soccer market globally. And because Adidas is, European-based, obviously, and has had that global dominance there in their core sport of soccer. That is by far and away their #1 core in that sport, and that's their identity. And Nike has really been able to come at them with really high-quality products and sign some really high-quality athletes and top performance. Cristiano Ronaldo, as an example, along with many others. Neymar, you mentioned the Brazil national team. So they've really done a very nice job of disrupting the market and offering people a very successful alternative to Adidas. And it's new, it's all of those different things that consumers look for. And so they've really been able to hit Adidas where it hurts, like I said, and make a name for themselves in soccer.